kids like us. We don't have to tell you. You know it is the toughest and most rewarding job in the world.
Yes, and we called on the parent coach for some tips to cope with the pandemic.
We are talking today about family life and a new book. It's called 100 Parenting Tips Inspired by the Pandemic. And for that, we're going to welcome the author and parenting coach, Karen Gibson. Thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share this book with you.
Let's jump right in. How has the pandemic impacted the child-parent relationship? I'm starting off with a loaded question, so go right ahead.
The pandemic has added more stress to parents, which really affects how they emotionally connect to their children. So there might be more stress, more arguments, more behavioral issues.
I can see how that would be a problem. What types of problems then do you see with your parent coaching clients?
Major one, of course, discipline, controlling issues, this addiction to video games, right? They're having to switch off Wi-Fi. They're having to, because these kids are so tech savvy, that you really need to make sure that you set boundaries and just meet your child where they are, because everyone is stressed out, right? With the distance learning challenges, with mom and dad working at home. It's just an insane environment when you think about it.
I'm right there. I feel that pain for other parents. What are some of the warning signs that parents should actually look out for? Could you give some of those?
Yes, your child may be more angry, right? Or hopeless, feeling bored. And this addiction, whether it's to social media, whether it's to video games, social isolation is really impacting children's mental health, because they don't get to physically see their friends, and everything is, via virtual connections, right? So really observe. I think sometimes parents are so busy that they don't really recognize when their children are feeling some type of mental challenge, because they're in their rooms or they're just distancing themselves from you. So you might not even notice it.
Absolutely. That's great info. Let me just throw this in there. Do you see some of those problems alleviating, lessening, because some kids are going back to school, or are there a whole new set of problems that we have to look for?
Well, actually, you know what's happening? The kids are getting used to being at home. So there is there are two types of kids who just can't wait to go back. And then kids are getting used to. Some of them love the virtual learning because they don't have to, get dressed and go to school and just deal with the in-class problems, right? Some of them like turning off that camera. Some of them have more control when they're at home. So it is a mixed, it's a mixed set of problems, because it all depends on the personality of your child.
Wow, that is so true. Okay. The book is called 100 Parenting Tips Inspired by the Pandemic. Would you mind giving us a few tips for parents?
Sure. The main one is, whenever you have added stress to the parents, it's going to translate to more stress to the parent-child relationship. So what parents need to do, which is hard, is lecture less, listen more, right? Be vulnerable with your child. And kids just want to be heard. They want to be understood. They want to feel worthy. So if you're focusing on the grades, why are you behind, these assignments? Why are you logging on late? Why are you fill in the blank? Your child is not going to feel worthy, which will impact just your daily interactions.
Thank you so much for being with us. I appreciate it. This has been some helpful tips and great information. And if somebody wants a little bit more information, how can we get that from you? Where can we find you?
LettingGoWithAloha.com. Also on Instagram, I do post tips. In fact, all the daily, all the 100 tips are on Instagram. They are also on my YouTube channel. There are many videos, all 100 of them. Plus, I have parenting videos, interviews that I do with mental health specialists, with parents who have overcome challenges. And that's also Letting Go with Aloha, my YouTube channel. And then you can find me on Facebook. I have a private group that I'm inviting any stressed parent. So it is stressed mom support by Hawaiian Mom. But it's not just for moms. It's for dads, aunties, uncles. If you have interactions with children, say you're a teacher, you have no children of your own, but you just need support, that's what my mission is, to help reduce the stress that parents have.
Karen, thank you so much. Again, the book is called 100 Parenting Tips Inspired by the Pandemic. YouTube, Instagram, and a whole lot more. Thank you, Karen. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, John. I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity.
Good stuff. She's got some great videos. I sat through and watched a bunch of them, and they're labeled parenting tip number 96. So if you go to her YouTube channel, there's a lot of great stuff there. Very knowledgeable, and
We need all the help we can get.
there's no book of parenting for dummies. It's
We're rewriting that book every day.
yeah, we learn from our parents, and it's always nice to be able to collaborate. This is a collaboration, I think, from a lot of her experiences, and she's put it all into one for all of us.
Yes, and we'll ask her to come again and help us and share some of her wisdom so we can learn through her experiences as well.
Yeah.
Coming up, new art is coming to the